Why do you think women are jealous of each other?
Oh God, this is a topic I could talk about forever. I have had really bad experiences with women, if I'm being honest. I've had terrible experiences my entire life.
I actually saw you post a comment. Someone sent you a DM.
Yeah.
And it was just
Vile, right?
vile.
Yeah, my whole life I've had this.
It was so. You know what? I've had a few.
Mine has been like bullying by women. It started even in my home and like family and stuff. I've had a really, really rough ride with women my whole life. Really rough ride, and it's good and bad. The good thing from it is I'm not as emotionally affected by what they have to say, and I don't crave their acceptance. I've always just had more men around me, more male friends, or whatever it is. And I don't judge, but one thing, and I've become really good at selecting women in my life, but one thing I always say is choose female friends. I always say 2 women can be best friends until a man is involved. A man is what creates jealousy between women. It's not a man's fault before the men go, it's just how we're programmed. What happens is you can have 2 best friends, but the moment they start liking the same man, they're jealous of each other. You can have like sisters. The moment that one man and it's really what happens, what causes jealousy is this is why 2 married women that are happily married tend not to be jealous of each other. Or 2 people in happy relationships. I always say, my friends tend to be happily married. I always have female friends that are happily married or happy in their relationship. When you have women, when it is jealousy, it's usually because they're competing over what they believe is a scarce resource. And men, they believe that if you get the man, I can't get the man. And then the jealousy starts. But when you remove men from the equation, women can get on really well. So I think I always select friends that are just genuinely happy. They're happy as people, but it does help when they're in happy relationships. They're not competing.
What are the signs of a friend that's jealous of you?
They are silent when things are good for you. When things are going good, they're a bit more silent. And when things are going bad, they're present. But when it's not so much about who's there for you when things are bad, because sometimes people just like to hear gossip and like to know. It's when things are going good for you, they're silent. Or the energy shifts and stuff like that. So I would say how they respond when things are going good in your life. And you can't fake that. So like, if you tell a girl that you're pregnant and she goes a bit quiet, or you're getting married, she goes a bit quiet, you can't fake those responses. Yeah. So whereas you can fake it, I'm so sorry you're going through a divorce, you can fake that. But you can't fake your visceral reaction when things are going good for people. And when people are saying good things about you, how does that person respond? Do they join in with the good comments or do they go quiet?
I had a friend like that once. And I learned...
Do you think it's more in Asian girls?
She was actually English.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've not really experienced it much with the English girls.
I had an English friend.
Bitch. I'm coming for you, Janet.
No, I had a friend, and I said some good news to her. And one thing I learned about was facial reactions. And her reaction was so forced.
It's the good news.
And I was just like, oh wow, like you actually don't want me to do better than you, or
well, the thing is, there is no better. It's just different.
Yeah, like as in, not better than her, but just she didn't want me to give her the news that I gave her because it was such big news, and the reaction was just so forced. And in my head, like even after that, she just went quiet.
Yeah, it's the quiet.
And she's always there for bad news.
Bad news, and I say that's my number one advice: is how do people respond when good things are happening for you? And it's not limited to friends; it could be family as well. And it's not limited to women; it could be men as well. I had men when I started my Instagram, and I had some male friends who were just genuinely jealous. And I'm like, why are you jealous?
What?
I don't know, of the notoriety or something like that. Not that there's any notoriety, it's just followers, it's not that deep. But I remember like a male friend of mine getting a bit bitchy with me and being like, oh, you're always out for dinners in Dubai and you're always doing this, this, and just that jealousy. And I don't think it's gendered, but it's usually more amongst the same gender. And men get jealous of other men as well. They just express it differently.
Oh, men are quite bad.
Yeah, they're really bad.
Yeah.
Women were just more known for it and obvious about it. But men will joke about the jealousy. They'll be like, even when I was a teacher, I used to observe this a lot in students with men with jealous boys. When they compete with each other, they'd be like, you're so dumb, you got a D, I got a C. They're in competition with each other, but they make a joke out of it. Whereas women, they're in silent competition.
Yeah. Women, I feel like women's jealousy can become quite toxic. I feel like there's a there's a movement now.
But I do think it's both way around. Sometimes I find myself as well being a little bit like, I don't want to tell her this good news. And maybe my being cautious is what's creating maybe it's me, maybe it's something I'm doing, so I do think that we need to analyze, maybe it's a dynamic thing, but I have been quite unlucky with women throughout my life.
Same.
Yeah, I've been really unlucky, unfortunately.
Yes.
But God blesses you in different ways. So I've been really lucky with males and male friends and stuff like that. I've been really, really lucky. But women, I now put nothing past them. In my life. Yeah, I put nothing past it.
I've had a lot of female friends, and to be honest, out of all my friends, I'm the most driven one.
Yeah.
So I've always been quite motivated from a young age because I come from a family of entrepreneurs. So for me, it was always to strive and be better and do more. So I was always the one that was working longer than all my friends, doing more than all my friends, and essentially having 3 jobs at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, like I've always been like that.
I've had the opposite problem where I've always been, I have no work ethic, by the way, guys, 0. I'm incredibly relaxed when it comes to work. I could take it or leave it. But success, or kind of like anything, whatever you call it, just used to follow me. So even when I was a teacher, I would get really high results out of the kids. Or and I'm not a hardworking person at all. Even like with the social media stuff, I just post it. I don't care about it. I really didn't care about it at all. I just used to post it. I didn't think anything about it. I never invested in marketing. I never even graphic design. My page is so embarrassing. It's like GCSE artwork, and I don't care to. And everyone's like, you could be this, you should be doing that. And I'm like, I don't care about this stuff. Like I could care less. But it happens to follow me. The kind of reaction followed me, and I think that used to lead to a lot of jealousy because it would come a bit more effortlessly for me. A lot of things, like even with how maybe people would treat me nicely or whatever it is, and I felt like sometimes people get jealous of the reaction you receive from others, not even just you, just the fact that it's so easy for you to make friends, or it's so easy for you to jump the queue, or it's so easy for you to like get on a podcast with this person or that person so quickly and easily. Praise be to God. This is all praise be to God. But I would always have the opposite problem because it looked like I was doing everything effortlessly. But it would come. I don't have a work ethic. I had an ethic to be educated, never to work, ever. So it just came as a result.
But I feel like you're doing what you love, and you're essentially
praise be to God.
Yeah, you are, and like a lot of the stuff that you actually attract, like you're actually putting out good information.
I try not to put anything out that's not beneficial. If it's just a bit of nonsense, I try and avoid it. And sometimes I do. And when I do put nonsense out, it goes viral. Like I always say, one of my most viral videos about gold diggers and men who are broke being worried about gold diggers. And I hate that that's the most viral one because it's just nonsense. It's just me talking to myself. It is very true. If you're broke, don't worry about a gold digger, bitch. You don't need to worry, okay? Worry about getting another job. I do, and I hate when my nonsense goes viral because there's so many better things. But if it helps draw people into the page, then it's all going to work out in the long run.
What do you want to be known for?
Oh, that's a nice question. Just keeping it real. I feel like I'm a very unbiased person. I'm very balanced. People always consider me either a misogynist or a feminist. I always get labeled one, but if you get labeled both, that means you must be balanced. So I would love for people to remember me as somebody, or know me as somebody who's very balanced, and to remember my goal is to keep you guys together, keep relationships together, not to pit each other against each other. Just keep each other together. That's what I would love to be known for. Mm-hmm.
I honestly have really enjoyed this podcast.
Thank you. I really loved it. I love being